Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another chapter of Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Today is the 9th of February. And sometimes it's just, I think, needful to look at something that you know is absolute truth and simple. That is a pleasant thought. You know, when Jesus walked on this earth, he had thousands and thousands of disciples, lots of them. There was 18 places, 18 times that it was recorded where when he went someplace, that he healed them all of them, every one of them. 18 times it's recorded that happened. How many times more than that? I don't know. You don't think that had an effect on people? People that were missing arms, legs, blind, crippled, and he healed them all. There was also 2 times where he cleaned out the temple with a whip. I think you call that doubling down. But then when stuff was going to be really wonky, and he had told his disciples, of whom he had thousands and thousands and thousands of them, he had told them stuff was coming. And he had told them that after I'm risen, he says, you go to Galilee and I will meet with you there. Now, I know that the 11 never made it there for the meeting. They met him on the shore of Lake Galilee later, but they didn't go to the Galilee gathering meeting. But there was thousands that made it there. He had told them ahead of time. Angels told him, all this stuff. 5 times it's recorded. Go to Galilee, I will meet with you there. But the thing that I wanted to go back to this morning that is so simple, and it's regrettable that you have to take a lot of what the church in the box potentates are saying and just chunk it right out the door. Throw it out. Things like, you just need a relationship with Jesus. No, you need to be born again, born of God, born of above. You need to have the DNA of God in you. Everybody on the planet has a relationship with Jesus, good, bad, or indifferent. Satan's kingdom, all the demons of hell have a relationship with Jesus. It ain't very good, but a relationship they have. So you got to take a lot of what they're saying and throw it out. The gospel, the too good to be true news, is the new birth, the DNA of God in you, the equipping of the saints for the work of the ministry, which covers all of life and all of godliness. That it isn't some moronic moment in time, 1 hour a week on Sunday morning. That's stupid, but that's what they present. They didn't used to. It's not what Paul presented. He didn't. Anyone that says that they were called from their mother's womb, they are trying to set themselves on a pedestal as being special. And that is an Old Testament statement. You never, ever, ever find that thought, that principle, that philosophy in the New Covenant. Never. It's not there. What you find is Paul saying, he separated me from my mother's womb. He separated me from natural birth, natural DNA, and brought me into supernatural DNA, the DNA of God in me. That is the heart of the gospel. That's the gospel. And there's a lot of people presenting something that just isn't true. And that's sad, but they do. They are presenting another gospel. So you need to take a lot of what the church in the box potentates say and do, and throw it right out the window. And look at something like something so awesome as when Jesus said, let not your heart be troubled. You believe, yeah, I put my fingers in it, and my fingers are cold. We had 20 below night before last, 20 below. This morning it was like 9 below. It's about 9 below right now. And look at, my cotton chore gloves have frost on them. Jesus said, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. No, he was telling people, if you're facing trouble, facing troubling times, and I know I've talked about this before, it is a primary thought. Facing trouble, challenging times. Think about the Heaven Castle ship. It's a ship. Like, I told my sister that. She said, you mean like Star Trek? There, I gotta switch things a little bit. There, more gooder. So this ship, it never sets on a planet anyplace. You want to find information about it, you look in the Word, and you look for the house of God. Do a search, computer search with the Word. Go to one of the computer programs. There's lots of them. And you can go to the King James. It's close. So you can search it in the Greek really easy. So what does it say? The tabernacle. Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. Oh, or coming down out of heaven coming down from God out of heaven. That one's twice it says it like that in the book of Revelation. It's just cold out here. But you want to find out about the Heaven Castle ship? It's astronomically huge. He gives the size of it. Here, I'll give you a if. If there was one deck, one floor every 5 miles. Okay, like you have floors in a house, floors in a building. If you had one floor every 5 miles, okay, where you wouldn't be able, for one, you have enough space there, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference from planet Earth, the way he made this, and how it is in the ship. You see the woods around me? And when it talks about the Heaven Castle ship, it talks about rivers, water, trees, stuff. Trees a lot better than this. This is white aspen, low-grade aspen. But if there was one floor every 5 miles, it puts the size of it to be three times the surface area of the earth. Okay? 3 times the surface area of the earth. On every floor, there would be enough space for you to do skydiving from an airplane. That's how high, how much space you would have. You could do mountain climbing. Three times the surface area of the earth. 12 times the land space of the earth. We only live on just like 15% of the land space of the earth. This place is huge. The tabernacle of God. And it never, Old Covenant, New Covenant. We live in the New Covenant, not the Old. Never, ever does anywhere in the Word does it ever say or insinuate heaven on earth. That thought is never there. It doesn't exist. Not in the Bible. It's not there. Heaven on earth? A heaven on earth marriage. And it might take some time to remove the tentacles of deception from the church in the box and church in the box potentates. But that needs to be done. There are so many lies being told from the church in the box. Any place you come into this caste system, where, like a 5-fold ministry club, where they are attempting to control you. Any place, when Paul talked about apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, he was talking about the characteristics of his heavenly Father, where he had received, just like you, just like me, through the new birth, where he was explaining how each of us received an equal volume blended portion of our Heavenly Father's DNA in us. Paul, separated from his mother's womb and brought into his father's womb, and he was born again. John the Baptist was the last of his kind. No more would God ever have to work with the parents to get from the parents a specific individual with a certain DNA set, like Moses, like Samson, like Solomon. There's several that are mentioned in the Old Covenant, but he would never have to do that again, because the DNA of God in you through the new birth, of which we have an equal volume blended portion, apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, characteristics of our Heavenly Father that are to function for all of life and all of godliness. Characteristics, we each have the same volume, brought us into our Father's womb. And he would never have to work with the parents again, because at the direction of Jesus, you got the DNA set of, that is your equipping, the equipping of the saints for the work of the ministry. Okay? The equipment that you got, the DNA, the skill set that you have, the DNA of God in you at the direction of Jesus, but you got it from your Heavenly Father. Jesus is the first begotten from the dead, and you come along, I come along after that. Go figure. Any place that's telling you to call some man father, that's not your biological father. Throw it out. This caste system that's presented with control over people, fivefold ministry club BS, it's a demonic thing. It's not a godly thing. It's not the gospel. The gospel, the too good to be true news, is the new birth and the DNA of God in you. It is your equipping for all of life, all of godliness. And when things get crazy, think about the heaven castle ship. It's awesome. It's amazing. Astronomically huge. Never sets on a planet ever. Couldn't do that. It's way too big. It is the most fantastic spaceship ever. And we're going to tour the galaxies that God made. We're going to go places, do stuff forever. Not going to be locked into some dumb solar system. Not going to be locked into some orbit forever. Are you kidding? That'd be like shutting your bedroom forever. We're going to his house eventually. He's not going to come and live on our planet. We are going to go live in his house. That's what's awesome. And going to do stuff forever. That's fantastic. Check it out. Go to the Word. Don't go ask some preacher about it. You go to the Word of God and look and study about the heaven castle ship. It's quite awesome. It'll really make your day. Yeah. So there. Enjoy the journey.